Alright guys, welcome to another beer review, and currently in the mid part of the evening of Christmas Eve, and it's about time I open some of my sort of special beers that I've been saving throughout the year. All primarily dark, all primarily imperial stouts. Sorry, not sorry. What do you expect me to do? But yeah, so kicking off dark proceedings with a beer that was kindly gifted to me from my hashtag beer bay, Harry, aka Blue Nose Beer Reviews, who just because he's such a generous bastard, decided that he'd give me a bottle of this, just because he's an absolutely wonderful human being. And I don't mean that in an ironic way either. You know, himself and Victoria put myself and Dean up in his house. He showed us around Coventry, opened some of his beers, and he gave us some of his beers as well. And yeah, if you've not already done so, then go subscribe to him down below. Link is going to be in the description. And yes, my hair is terribly greasy today. Mainly because I just don't give AF. And I'm just really in the mood to drink some beers. So, what we have here is a beer that I've wanted to try for absolutely ages. And this would be Anagram from Omnipollo and Duggars. Now, I believe, I should have confirmed this before I started the review. I believe that this is a 2016 vintage. Not too sure if Omnipollo or Duggars have brewed this since. I know they've brewed some absolutely mental looking beers. And yes, the bed is unmade, because I soil myself on a nightly basis. Who knew? But yeah, so we've got a vintage bottle of Anagram from Omnipollo and Duggars. And yeah, this is clocking in at a measly 12% ABV in a 330ml bottle. So I thought, what better time to experience beer like this than at Christmas? So, a blueberry... I can't read the writing because it's all... the like sort of painting has started to chip off. So I'll see if I can quickly read this. So, a blueberry... something stout. I can't read that. It's all flaked off. But yeah, it's a breakfast stout. I've only had one beer and I'm fucking all over the place. To be honest, it was focal banger and I did drink it way too quickly. Do you know what? That's like the craft beer equivalent of you when you were like kids and you're like, I drank a whole bottle of vodka in an hour, mate. And then I had... And it's like, do you remember those sorts of people who now have about 10 kids and are on... what's it called? Is it called Universal Credit? I'm so out of touch. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, those sorts of people who are absolute dickheads in high school and are even more... and are even bigger dickheads now. Anyway... Universal Credit, is that it? I don't know. Universal Credit's a fucking joke, by the way. They need to get that sorted. Anyway, we're not here to talk about politics or society. We're here to talk about beer. And, yeah, I've got a feeling I'm going to get pretty... I'm going to get cirrhosis of the liver after this Christmas, I believe. And it's all going to be thanks to beers like this. Anyway, so it's a blueberry something stout. So it's a pastry stout. That's what I wanted to say. Not breakfast. And I can smell the beer from here. Okay, so I'm using my Indie Man glass for this one because I want to get some pretentious footage of this to share on Instagram. But I say that, but the actual proper camera on my phone, the lens is smashed. So the image is always shit. So the front-facing camera is always the better one. Anyway, you don't need to hear about my woes that are easily fixed by just buying a new lens on Amazon for £5 and applying it to it. But anyway, so let's see what we get with this one. I can smell the beer from here already, and oh my word. Look at that. A little bit more carbonation than I was expecting. But that head has pretty much fizzled away into... what's that word when an animal... Extinction. There we go. Not a clumsy segue at all. But just look at that. Alcohol legs there. It's stained the glass slightly. That to me, in this lighting anyway, is pretty much jet black. Maybe some sort of oakish tones coming out of the glass there. But yeah, you can't see through that at all. That looks thick, dense, and just like a slick. The head that was there, almost as dark as the beer itself. So yeah, it's looking like I wanted this beer to look like, to be honest. So let's see what we get on the nose. Oh, that smells so good. It's got this like sickly sweet vanilla tone, which I'm not usually the biggest fan of over-the-top vanilla, but this just, it smells naughty. Oh. It's like the vanilla Angel Delight, but backed up with some really like sticky sweet chocolate tones. Do you know what it reminds me of, actually? I can't remember. Do you know those like those cherry chocolates which have got that? Is it like a cherry liqueur or something like that? When you bite into it, it just like hits the back of your throat. It's got that sort of like, it's got like a real sweet booziness about it, like a really decadent and dense liqueur character almost. Do you know what I mean? Getting bourbon biscuits in there. Even a bit of custard cream. It's like fresh cake batter as well. It's got these like slight dessert liqueur aromas, but it's not stinging the nostrils. It's not, you know, it's not a harsh smelling beer by any stretch. It's just smelling like absolute decadence. It really, really is. And you do get the blueberries in there, and it is quite a synthetic blueberry aroma, but it works absolutely beautifully with this beer. Anyway, this just smells absolutely bang tidy. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys, and a massive, massive thank you to my beer bay, Harry, from Blue Nose Beer Reviews, for hooking me up with this beer. Because I was kicking myself that I missed it when it was new. And to get a beer that's been aged for me, hello, wonderful stuff. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. That has mellowed out wonderfully. No detection at all of that 12% ABV, aside from a little bit of a warm tingling sensation as it's going down. It's like drinking milk. It really, really is. You do get that blueberry flavour in there. Again, it is synthetic, but it works against the backdrop of that dense, sticky, sweet malt build. I'm going to drink this way too fast, and I just know I am. Yeah, this is drinking like a dessert liqueur. You know, something you'd have a little measure of after a meal. It's not too sweet though. It's not too sickly sweet. And I got bourbon biscuits. Or how do you pronounce it? I don't know. But I got bourbon biscuits on the nose. I'm getting that by the bucket load on the flavour. Even getting a little cheeky hint of blue riband. Yeah, those wafer chocolate biscuits. Do you know what? This is like most British old school chocolate biscuits that are in your lunchbox in a beer. And that blueberry is just right. It's not in your face at all. It's so naughty. It's such a naughty beer. And it's so naughty, it's making me come across like I'm camp. It does that to you. Lovely chocolate flavour on the back end. It's gentle, it's smooth. It's got these slight dessert liqueurs, which, by the way, 2019 is when I'm going to properly get into like high quality dessert liqueurs and like coffee liqueurs and amaretto big style. It's even a bit of an amaretto biscuit in this, now that I'm thinking about it. It's absolutely magical. It really, really is. There's nothing really big or bold about it. So it's not slapping you around the face with a specific flavour. But what you do get is just... I sort of want to just like slump into this corner now and just cuddle up and fall asleep. Because that is a wonderful beer. I really, really like that. I just can't pick out any faults. It's just such a wonderful drinking experience. And people say, oh, well, I thought Omnipollo's beer was much better than this. Okay. And at this point in time, right now, drinking this, it's just absolutely magic. It really, really is. And if you've got a bottle laying around of this, you are in for a treat. I'm not going to lie, I kind of went off Omnipollo's scent because there wasn't really anything that was like really standing out to me. Aside from that beer they did with Duggars recently, where it's like the label... That just looked like pure like sludge slowly erupting out of a cask. Do you know what I mean? But this is just fantastic. This could be the best Omnipollo beer that I've had. And I got to try Noah on tap in Manchester, which was a wonderful experience. Lorelei that I had, the collaboration between Omnipollo, Siren and David Strachan, I believe, which was the Imperial Coconut Maple Porter. Wow, oh my God. Yeah, I think this could be, don't quote me on it, but right now this is feeling like the best beer from Omnipollo that I've ever had. Even Yellow Belly. Yeah, that was a wonderful beer. And I think, going back to the point I was making before, I think what works in this beer's favour is, yeah, it is probably riddled with adjuncts, but it's not farcical. Do you know what? It's not like a parody of itself. It's just really nice flavours, really lovely body, and yeah, terrific beer. 10 out of 10. It's 10 out of 10. I'm sorry. I know 2018 has been the year where like every second beer seems to be being given a 10 out of 10, but I'm sorry, if a beer just touches me in all the right places, a beer touches me in all the right places. I'm sorry. I'm going to cry if you keep poking at me. I'm very vulnerable right now. But no, all basic bitch joking aside, wonderful beer. Harry, what an absolute privilege to try that beer. I thank you so much. Go check out Harry if you haven't done so already. I'm sure you were subscribed to him long before you were subscribed to this fat oaf. But yeah, Harry, thank you so much for giving me one of my favourite drinking experiences of 2018. What was that noise? Check out Omnipollo, check out Duggars. Was it Duggars? Make sure you're quoting the right brewery. Yes, it was. Anagram. If you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Not sure where Harry got this from, but yeah, just it's magic. It's magic in a glass. 10 out of 10. And yeah, check out my Omnipollo playlist. Check out Harry. If any of my friends and fellow beer tubers have reviewed it, the link's going to be down below. And yeah, I hope you'll join me next time for another beer review. Thank you for watching, and I shall hopefully see you next time. Cheers.